Today we're going to review Smokeye Hill Blue Corn. Let's do it. All right, guys, welcome back to Brutally Honest Bourbon. I think before we get started, I want to pay some respect to the patrons. Guys, we couldn't do it without you. Really appreciate everything you do. Continue to give us that feedback that we need to improve. I've got my friend Brandon Green here with me. Brought a few bottles over today. We're doing some reviews, and Smokeye Hill is one that I haven't had yet. I saw this on the Ascot Awards 24, and my understanding is it won the 24 Ascot Awards. Didn't know a thing about Smokeye Hill. I mean, it almost sounded like a generic brand to me. And I think you kind of found out about it a similar way, right?
I did. So a buddy of mine, Wyatt, he brought it over one day and he was like, hey, you ever had this? And I was like, nope, never heard of it. Don't know anything about it or whatever. He's like, have you not heard about it? And I was like, sorry, I don't know. Like, am I supposed to hear about it? Like,
right.
And he was like, before I tell you anything about it, I want you to try it. And I was like, all right. So it was the 131 proof. This is, I think, 134.2 proof that we're trying today. But the one I tried was 131 proof. And I tried it and I was like, damn, this is a dang good bourbon. Like, I need a bottle of this. So I immediately got online, started searching secondary, found one for 140 bucks. And so I bought it, got it home and it's gone. So anyway, long story short, I've ordered several more, probably 10 or 12. And this is the new one that they released. It's a 5-year, age stated. I haven't had it yet. All the other ones are not age stated, and that's the ones I have the most of. I really enjoy them, and I'm hoping that I really enjoy this one as much as I enjoy the 131 proof. There's several different batches. I don't know the difference in all the batches. All I know is I've had 3. I went through 3 bottles of that, and it's
Those all different batches?
They were, and they were all
enjoyed them all the same.
Yeah, they were like 131, 132 point something, and like 131.6 or 131 point, I can't remember.
So pretty close.
Yeah, they were all very close. So this is, I think, the latest batch, the 5-year stated, came from a sell box offline, got it shipped to my door, and it's something I've been interested in trying. I've been waiting to share this with you. So
cool.
Let's get to it.
I'm excited. So I'll just real quick, Smokeye Hill 5-year Blue Corn Barrel Proof straight bourbon whiskey is a distinctive 4-grain bourbon craft from a proprietary mash bill that includes heirloom blue corn, yellow corn, rye, and malted barley. The inclusion of the blue corn prized for centuries in the Southwest imparts a unique floral richness to the whiskey, contributing to its bold, full flavor profile. It's aged for 5 years in American white oak barrels, varying sizes between 30 and 53 gallons and char levels 2 to 5. The bourbon is non-chill filtered, and it's bottled at barrel proof with alcohol content varying by batch. And I'm not going to read the notes on it. And it says this bourbon is available for purchase from various retailers with prices typically ranging between $65 and $150 per 750 mLs. The fact that it is non-chill filtered excites me. I know people will chill filter stuff to pull the oils and stuff out of it to get that clarity of the juice. And that's cool for aesthetics and shelf placement and that kind of thing. But for me, I want that oily, buttery mouthfeel. Don't rob me of that for the clarity of the juice.
I agree. I think if whatever comes out of the barrel, put it in a bottle, no matter what it is. If that's your product and you put it in the barrel, you need to respect what comes out of the barrel. You need to respect what that barrel does to that bourbon and put it on the shelf.
Not water it down.
Right.
Try to spread it out third. Yeah, no, I get it. I agree.
And I get it from the distillery standpoint where you have to like water it down a little bit for some things or whatever for price point. But the other ones I've had, not speaking of this one, but other ones I've had are phenomenal. I bought this for $89.99 off a sale box. I paid, I think it was $25 shipping. So I think I have $106, $107 in this total. And that's to my door. Like, that's not to anywhere else. That's to my door. If they ship to your state, great. If they don't, find a family member and get them to ship it to you. But I haven't had this one, but other ones that I've had of Smokeye Hill are just, and when I tried it the first time, I was like, my goodness. And is this age stated? And my buddy was like, no, it's not. And I was like, dadgum, I wonder like how old this is, because it's.
So that may have been like 4-year juice or something.
And it was really, really good. And so that's why I chose to do this 5-year with you.
And where are they out of? Do you remember?
They're out of Colorado.
Colorado.
I think. Is it Boulder or Denver? Let's see.
Man, I really enjoyed the Boulder.
It says Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Okay. That Boulder whiskey that you and I had last year,
It was very good. So I hope this compares to it.
Colorado's doing something special apparently, and getting some flavor out of some young whiskey. That's exciting. I know earlier when I did the B-roll, I pulled this cork out, and I probably need to go get the food scale, but that's probably one of the heaviest corks per size that I've ever felt. Like that is solid.
Almost feels like lead. It's so heavy.
It does. Man, I'm anxious to get into this one. So,
but I like a heavy cork. I like the way I like the size of the bottle. I like the way it feels in your hand. I like the cork. So far so good. Using a buddy of mine's glass here, Bottle to Bond. A buddy of mine has this company and puts out these mini Glens with these cases right here, travel cases. He's dropped this off of probably a 4 or 5 story building we have here in Birmingham area called the Vulcan. It didn't shatter, so it's pretty much basically indestructible if it's in the case.
I like it.
But I like how it has, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it has 1/2 ounce pour, ounce pour, 1.5 ounces, and then 2 ounces. Check him out on BottleToBond.com or on Amazon. He has a storefront. I mean, his stuff.
And he's here out of Birmingham.
He is out of Birmingham, and he's a really cool guy that does, he's got some more stuff coming with Bottle to Bond, but it's, my thing with sharing with Brandon here is, whiskey's not about opening a bottle that's cost, X amount of money. It's about bonding, friendships.
For sure.
Cherishing each other's friendship and getting to know each other over a little bourbon. I mean, to me, that's what it's about.
It absolutely is. And that's probably one of the most beautiful things about whiskey that I love. And that's one reason I came to it. It's one reason that Randy Sullivan came to it was the camaraderie, right?
Right.
It builds for people. And I mean, there are people that are in my group that have different religious beliefs. They have different political beliefs. But the one thing that we can agree on is whiskey. And we can sit around all night long and have a good time, not have crosswords.
I agree.
And enjoy whiskey.
And it, no matter at the end of the day, what we believe or where we, where, like he said, our political beliefs or whatever it may be, at the end of the day, we all join brown water.
Exactly. Exactly. And I like the fact that we're enjoying stuff from all over the country. It's not just all out of Kentucky, right? Bourbon doesn't have to be made in Bourbon County, Kentucky.
Sure doesn't. There's some good stuff out of Colorado. I mean, I've got a friend of mine, she's all about this Wyoming whiskey right now that I'm eager to try.
I need to try it too, I haven't.
But that's something that I'm really interested to try now, or next is the Wyoming whiskey.
Before you leave today, I want to get you to try another one too. Distillarium out of Washington State.
Oh, never had it.
No, I hadn't either. I reviewed it last week. I've got about 4 or 5 different offerings from them, but I've got one in particular that I want you to try.
Okay.
But there again, all across the country, craft whiskeys that we wouldn't know about until we got into a community of people that spread across the country and just shared stuff with us, right?
Right. And to me, that's what bourbon's all about. The more you share, the more you learn about it.
For sure.
I brought the 17 over, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago,
right.
Compared it to the 18 of Heaven Hill. Right. To me, it's all about sharing. You've never had the 17. I had the 17. So I said, right. Hey, what, let's try it together. Let's blind them.
For sure.
And there's just so many different things about bourbon that you may have that I don't, and vice versa. And that's what makes bourbon just so different than everything else. It's just whether it's Washington, whether it's Seth down at Detling and Atmore, Alabama,
yeah.
Whether it's people out in Colorado, whether it's people in Kentucky or
South Carolina, wherever.
Got them
all over.
Mean, they're just. I think the humidity, I think the temperature, I think the climate all the way around is controlling bourbon, and
it is,
and I love it. So,
and another state that we didn't mention, I don't know if you've had it, but Koval rye whiskey out of Chicago.
Haven't had that yet either.
I don't have the bottle, but I need to get it. It's not very expensive.
I'm a rye head, so.
But man, they got some good stuff out there, son. 99% rye. They're 99.1,
okay.
And it's really good. Let's get into this Smokey and see what we think.
Let's see what you see.
Right off, I feel like the color of this thing is really nice. For a 5-year juice, I mean, that's respectable. Oh, goodness. That's really dark.
Also, what I love about these glasses is you're right on top of it. So you can get a little ethanol, straightforward. This was a fresh crack. This was just cracked today. About, 30 minutes before we shot this video.
For sure.
Just to let it get some air. But man, off the nose, that is phenomenal.
It's got some dark sweetnesses to it. I am picking up some of that floral that they mentioned.
Yep. I get a lot of baking spices off of it.
A lot of bacon spices, yes. I might just see what it's like on the nose.
Well, let's try
I mean,
it,
on
brother.
the palate. Let's try
Cheers,
it.
brother.
Cheers. Very oily mouthfeel.
I mean, it just coats it.
It does. And a fresh crack, and it didn't punch me in the face with ethanol.
Nope.
Obviously, it's got the proof there. It's in the 130s. You can tell that. Not a ton of like a Tennessee hug there.
Nope.
You're not getting a lot of chest burn. I don't feel like the finish carries quite as long, but maybe that's due to age. But the initial, when it hits your palate and the mid palate, is absolutely delicious.
I think from front to back, it's very good. The finish is not as long as I've had on their other batches. I want to say the 132 point something batch is one of my favorites. Now I would have to compare them again. But I mean, I could bring them over. We can get them out of storage, and I can bring some over. We can crack them and try them all next to each other. But
I can definitely see what you see in them. That's a very good whiskey. It's very unique.
Right.
Like there's not a lot that I could compare that to flavor profile wise.
the blue corn to me, and I've never had a blue corn whiskey. I've never had Still Austin blue corn or any of the other big blue corn whiskeys out there. I hate to say this, but I'm into the stage where unless I try it first, I'm not buying it. And I hate to say that, but I've probably got $10,000 to $15,000 vested in bourbon that's just sitting there that
you may not drink because you don't like it, right?
Well, not just that, but also like I probably have 200 bottles open. And so I hate to open something else and be disappointed compared to what I already have open on the shelf.
I agree with you.
You know what I
100%.
mean?
And you mentioned the Still Austin Blue Corn. So in my opinion, Still Austin doesn't miss. But I like their red corn
Yeah, over their blue corn.
over the blue corn. Now there's people that think right the opposite of that. My buddy at Brian's Bourbon Review on TikTok yesterday, somebody had mentioned doing a blend. So he poured a little bit of each one, the red and blue, in a glass and
What'd he think?
picking at it, calling it purple corn.
Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff.
And
I
I'm
like
telling
that.
you, when he sipped it and he came back, all I could think of was Forrest Gump. Because he's like, it tastes like cigarettes. I was like, Forrest Gump, when he kissed that girl, he's like, she tastes like cigarettes.
Yeah.
So he didn't like it. The blue and red together, he didn't like. But I think he and I are the same on the fact that we both like the red corn better. But I like all things Still Austin. And the blue corn's good. But if I sip them side by side, I prefer the red corn.
Red over the blue.
Just me, yeah.
I'll have to get into the Still Austin stuff. I see them on the shelves. I travel a lot, and so I see them on the shelves a lot, and still haven't picked up one. But I think I need to try them first. You know?
I've got several here for you to try. If you ever quit faking having fevers and come over to a bottle share,
my God, here we
then
go.
we'll get you into some of those Still Austins for sure.
Sorry, guys. I was what he's referring to is I was sick one time, ER nurse, and I work around front lines of all that stuff, and so I guess I had some kind of 24-hour virus, or maybe I don't even know how long it lasted.
It was just long enough to get him by the bottle share, so he didn't have to.
But he
come. I
didn't
know
want me
it
to come
was a-
involved. Who's going to turn down free bourbon? No one. So, he's going to give me heck because I missed a bottle share. So that's what that's all about.
But yeah, I've got you on the Still Austin front, son, because I heavily support them. I really like everything they've got. Their single barrel cask strength bottles.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal, and I keep those open and keep several backups because it's affordable. It's $60 to $80 whiskey, and it's just solid. But there again, it's unique. It's very good unique, but it's unique. And this bottle in itself is very unique.
It is.
I just can't think of another bottle that I would say would be like that, but I like it.
Right.
It's really good. That is up my alley in the regard to that buttery, oily mouthfeel up front, that full flavor. It's 5-year whiskey. And I know you and I were talking
hard to
earlier,
beat
and you were like,
5 year
man, we might could
blue
put that
corn.
against XYZ. And I was like, but that's only 5 years. He's like, wait till you try it, right?
Yeah. And like I said, this stuff right here is just, I don't know. I really enjoy sipping it. It could be a daily for me. At $100 shipped to my house, it's very affordable in my opinion.
For sure.
I think retail is like $79 or $89.99. So I mean, you're not spending much more shipped to your door if you're out of state or out of Colorado. I think California gets a lot of this. I've got a friend of mine that lives out there, and she's been looking for me some.
And I've got Chris out in Colorado too. He's part of the group there. So if you ever need that, he's a good one to reach out to in Colorado.
I got you. This stuff's you can't beat it for 5-year bourbon in my opinion. It's something about the nose and the palate for me that
That
gets
nose is very good. I mean, if I'm ranking it like I normally would a whiskey, I'm gonna say that's like 4.4 to 4.5 on the nose. It's a really nice nose. It's hard for me to give something a 5. There's just a few bottles that I would give a 5 to, but
compared to the Heaven Hill 17, you gave it a 4.75 or, last week. I don't think this holds comparison, but do you think this is better than that 18 we smelled?
it's right there with that 18.
Okay.
It's right there with it.
That's comparing an 18-year to a 5-year. That's nuts.
It is. It really.
Like, that's insane
Like,
to
what's
me.
going on, right?
Right.
Like, what are you doing to
Is
age
it the
that
blue
whiskey?
corn versus their corn? I mean, what kind of corn
Is
are
it
they
the
Heaven Hill?
cooperage? Is it the temperature? Colorado's not crazy hot, right?
it's cold,
crazy.
but, I mean,
they're not crazy humid.
They're crazy cold.
for sure.
I mean, when I think about Colorado, that's what I think of. Snow, crazy cold temperatures.
And so you would think they need more age on the barrel.
Right.
I wonder if they're doing climate control type stuff and heating their brick houses or something.
That I don't know about.
I would love to. I'd love to learn what's going on at Smokeye Hill. Another question is, and I don't guess I really looked. This is distilled, bottled, and aged by them.
Yeah,
or?
it's all by them. Everything
Okay.
they do is by them.
Got you. The
Colorado Springs,
non-chill
Colorado.
filter is a huge thing to me. I mean, that
You get
really
that
means a
oily,
lot.
buttery mouthfeel. You get I get a lot of bacon spice, some cinnamon. I get some, like maybe some nutmeg a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that nose, and like I said, it's tough for me to give anything a 5, and that 17. You know, maybe I cheated at a fuss, but 4.75 is what I gave it. And I'd gladly give this one 4.4, 4.5, 4.4. I think.
I think 4.4 on the nose is really good.
Because it's delicious. Like whatever that is, that's really good, and that is not 5-year whiskey that I'm smelling, man.
No. To me, it smells and ages like it just tastes aged a little bit longer than 5 years.
It does.
Maybe 7, 8 years.
And the way it rolls across my palate, man, oh my goodness. I mean, I'm gonna have to stick right there on palate with it being about a 4.5. The finish is the only thing that would knock that bottle down a little bit for me, because it doesn't last quite as long as I would like, but relative to it being a 5-year, it lasts a very long time.
Right.
You know, so, and it is a good finish. Front to back, nose to gullet, like that thing is solid. I don't find much negative about it.
I don't find any negative.
I wonder what more age would do for it. Like I almost
If
sit
they
here
put a
saying I don't
10-year,
want, you know,
it might compete with some of the big dogs.
very well.
You know what I
Very-
mean? And for Fred Minnick to, put this on his, Ascot Awards of Bourbon of the Year last year.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's not the same bottle, it's not the same proof, but it is the same distiller. And that's pretty high regards to me.
That is,
because I respect his palate more than anyone out there. I mean,
Me too.
I'm not gonna say he's the quote unquote bourbon god, but I mean, if you were gonna put a god on bourbon, I mean, who else is it? You know what I mean?
Here we could look. It'd be picture old Fred there,
Yep.
I guess.
And so, I mean, I give this distiller, hands down. I think they're doing some really good stuff.
They are.
If they put out a 7-year or 10-year, look out, because it's going to be some good stuff.
Surely it's coming. Surely
has
it's coming.
to.
So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to try to reach out to them. I want to connect with them. I want to do some collaboration. Maybe we can do a Facebook Live interview. Maybe we can travel out there and tour their distillery or something and kind of get behind the scenes, see what's going on.
Let's go.
But yeah, so there you have it. I mean, that's a bottle that for me, I'm buying it. I'm buying a backup. There again, I'm not buying anything without tasting it. If you guys want to buy it off of our accounts and us saying that it's good, then so be it. But I would highly recommend you try to get a pour of it first, because there again, your palate, my palate could be 180 degrees, but that is a delicious whiskey that's well worth. I mean, that's $80 to $100 all day long. Only reason the price point's down is because the age statement's down,
I think so,
in
too.
my opinion. And that's a customer perception thing.
The taste of it is worth more than their pricing.
For sure.
Like, hands down, not even close to me.
For sure.
I mean, that's just my palate, personally.
It drinks way above 5 year.
I agree.
It does not drink 130 some odd proof, I don't feel like. I
No.
mean, it drinks a lot less.
I mean, that's
Flavor-wise, it does.
That's 134.2 proof. And comparative to some 110, 115 proofs I've had, I'm like, this drinks around 110, 115.
And so another thing that we talk about, some friends of mine and I, is usually if you have the proof, in my opinion, you need the age to offset it, to smooth it out. We're talking about a 5-year juice at 134 proof that really should be hot as a firecracker.
Absolutely.
Like, we should be sitting here coughing.
Right.
And it's not. It's enough. It's there. I'm not going to act like you don't know the proof there. It's like, hello, I'm whiskey. But it's not. There's nothing there that interrupted the flavor profile.
Not at all. I think it's very good. And I don't know if it's the blue corn that sets that off. I have no idea. Like I said earlier, I hadn't had many blue corn things, so I don't really know if that's plays a flavor profile and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I will say, for $100, shipped to your door, signed, sealed, delivered.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's that good.
Well, there you have it, guys. Smokeye Hill, definitely one that I suggest you pick up. Brandon suggests you pick up. So until the next time, y'all let the whiskey and friendships flow. Cheers.
Cheers.